Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We are from Group 10 and we will presentation the material about assessing listening. And before we start the presentation, let me introduce our members. The first is there is Nopadea, Nola, and Fahmi Fauzia. So let's move to the first material. It's about observing the performance of the four skill will be delivered by me. Before focusing on listening itself, think about the two interacting concepts of performance and observation. All language users perform the acts of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. They of course rely on their underlying competence in order to accomplish these performances. When you propose to assess someone's ability, in one or a combination of the four skills, you assess that person's competence, but you observe the person performance. Sometimes the performance does not indicate true competence. A bad night rest, illness, and emotional distraction, test anxiety, a memory block, or other student-related reliability factors couldn't affect performance. The review providing an unreliable measure of actual competence. Next. For the next material will be delivered by Novadia. Dea, the screen is yours.
Okay, Fahmi, thank you. Next, the importance of listening. Listening is a necessary communication skill. Listening is also often applied as a component of speaking. A personal oral production abilities, other than monologues, speeches, reading aloud, and the like, are only as good as one is listening comprehension abilities. Efforts can be made not only by listening as usual, but by receiving, discussing, and understanding every message or information conveyed. Listening activities can improve the ability to understand better. For example, listening skill can identify more complex meaning in learning material, produce excellent written notes, capture information, and conclude when learning in class. Meanwhile, in general, listening activities can increase self-confidence, avoid misunderstanding between speakers and listeners, and strengthen friendship or brotherhood relationship both inside and outside the classroom. Next slide, please. Next, basic types of listening. As with all practice tests, designing an appropriate assessment test in listening begins with a specification of objective or criteria. This goal in a category into several types of listening performance. Literally, in nanoseconds, the listening process includes number one, recognizing speech sound and storing temporary trace in short-term memory. Determine at the same time the type of speech event like monologue, interpersonal dialogue, transactional dialogue that is being processed and pay attention to the context. Who is the speaker, location, purpose, and the context and the content or message of the speech. Number three, using linguistic decoding skill or bottom-up and background seems top-down to provide a reasonable interpretation of the message and assign a literal and intended meaning to the utterance. Number four, in most cases, except for repetition tests, which involve only short-term memory, humans delete the exact linguistic form in which the message was received initially to retain important or conceptually relevant information in long-term memory. Next slide. Each of these stages represent a potential assessment objective, including understanding surface structural elements such as phonemes, words, intonation, or grammatical categories, understanding of pragmatic context, determine the meaning of the auditory input, and develop a core global or comprehensive understanding. Next slide. From this stage, we can derive four commonly identified types of listening performance. Each consists of categories to consider assignments and assessment procedures. Number one, intensive. Intensive is listen to the perception of components, phonemes, words, intonation, discourse makers, etc. of many language. Number two, responsive. Responsive is listen to relatively short language like greetings, question, comments, comprehension checks, etc. to make a common understanding of short response. Number three, selective. Process a thread of discourse such as a short monologue to scan certain information for a few minutes. The purpose of the show is to seek global or general meaning and understand information defined in a longer spoken language context, such as a class directive from a teacher, TV or radio news, or a story. An assessment test in selective listening may ask students, for example, to listen for specific names, numbers, grammatical, categories, direction in a mapping exercise or facts and events. And number four, spacious. Listening to develop a global understanding of spoken language. Listening to the point, the main idea, and the conclusion are all part of listening extensively. Extensive performance range from listening to language lecturers to listening to conversation and obtaining a comprehensive message or goal. At full comprehension, the test taker may need to use interactive skills, perhaps note-taking, questioning, discussion, listening, which include the four types above, as the test taker actively participates in discussion, debate, conversation, role play, and pair work and group. Their listening performance must be integrated with speaking and possibly other skills in an authentic give and take communicative exchange. That's all the material I convey. Then I leave it back to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Nova. For the next material will be delivered by Nola. Nola, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Fahmi. Next, I will explain about micro and macro skills of listening. Richard's list of micro skills has proven useful in the domain of specifying objectives for learning and maybe even more useful in forcing test makers to carefully identify specific assessment objectives. The micro and macro skills provide 17 different objectives to assess listening. The first is micro skills. It has 11 lines. The first is discriminate among the distinctive sounds of English. 2. Retain chunks of language of different lengths in short-term memory. 3. Recognize English stress patterns, words in stress and unstressed position, rhythm structure, intonation contours, and their role in signaling information. 4. Recognize reduced forms of words. 5. Distinguish word boundaries, recognize a core of words, and interpret word orders patterns and their significance. 6. Process speech at different rates of delivery. 7. Process speech containing pause, errors, corrections, and other performance variables. 8. Recognize grammatical word classes such as nouns, verbs, and systems such as tense, agreement, plural, patterns, rules, and elliptical forms. 9. Detect sentences constituents and distinguish between major and minor constituents. 10. Recognize that a particular meaning may be expressed in different grammatical forms. And 11. Recognize cohesive devices in spoken discourse. Then macro skills. The first is recognize the communicative function of utterance according to the situations, participants, and goals. 2. If in first situation, participants goal using real-world knowledge. And 3. From events, ideas, and so on, describe, predict outcomes, infer links and connection between events, deduce causes and effects, and detect such relations as main idea, supporting idea, flow information, given information, generalization, and exemplification. 4. Distinguish between literal and implied meanings. 5. Use facial, kinesthetic, body language, and other nonverbal cues to decipher meanings. And 6. Develop and use a battery of listening strategies such as detecting keywords, guessing word from context, appealing for help, and signaling comprehension or lack thereof. Next is designing assessment tasks in intensive listening. It will be divided into two parts. The first is recognizing phonological and morphological elements, And the second is paraphrase elements. A typical form of intensive listening at this level is the assessment of recognition of phonological and morphological elements of language. I will explain phonological first. It will be divided into two. The first is phonemic pair in consonants, and the second is phonemic pair in vowels. For example, in consonants, the test takers will hear he's cooking pizza, but they will read A, he's cooking pizza, B, she's cooking pizza. He and she has a really similar sound, but has a different consonant in the first word, which is the first is he and the second is she. Then phonemic pair in vowels. The test takers will hear she has a flower, but they will read A, she has a flower, or B, she has a flower. Flower and flower have a very similar sound, but has a really different meaning. The first is flour, which is an ingredient for making a pizza or cake, and the second is flower, a plant. It has a phonemic element. Then, morphological elements. In morphological tasks, it can be used the same format as the phonological. For example, in morphological pair in ed ending, the test takers will hear I clean the room with the past tense, but they will read A, I clean the room with the past tense, or B, I clean the room with the present tense. Clean and clean have a really similar sound, but they have a different ending. And morphological elements is important to intensive listening tasks because it makes the students to think harder. And then stress pattern in can. The test takers will hear my sister can come home, but they will read A, my sister can come home, or B, my sister can come home. Can and can have a similar sound but different stress. So in this section, in the intensive listening task, the students have to pay attention on the stress, which can be can or can't. And then one word stimulus. In one word stimulus, they have a step better than simply provide a one-word stimuli. For example, the test takers will hear deer, but they will read A, deer, or B, beer. Deer and beer have the same sound again, but the beginning of the word is different, and students have to pay attention because it is an intensive listening. Next, paraphrase recognition. Next step up on the scale of listening comprehension microskills is word, phrases, and sentences, which are frequently assessed by providing a stimulus sentence and asking the test takers to choose the correct paraphrase from a number of choices. For example, in the sentence paraphrase, the test takers will hear, "Hello, my name is Jessie. I'm an English education student, but they will read A, Jessie likes English language, B, Jessie is comfortable in English language, or C, Jessie can speak English. In the above item, the idiomatic of English language is the phrase being tested. To add little context, a conversation can be the stimulus task to which test takers must respond. Then in dialogue paraphrase, the test takers will hear the man said, "Hi, Jenny, my name is Haru." The woman answered, "Nice to meet you, Haru. Are you Chinese?" The man will say, "No, I'm Japanese." But the test takers will read, A, Haru lives in the China, B, Haru is Chinese, C, Haru comes from Japan, or D, Jenny is Japanese. Here, the criterion of recognition of the adjective form used to indicate country of origin. For example, Japanese, Chinese, or Indian. Next, designing assessment task, responsive listening. A question and answer format can provide some interactivity in this lower end listening task. The test takers respond in the appropriate answer to a question. Appropriate response to a question. For example, the test takers will hear a question, how much time does it take from school to your house? But they will read A, about an hour, B, about $10, or C, yes, I did. The objective of this item is recognizing of the WH question of how much and its appropriate response. These structures are chosen to representative common learners errors. It can be A, responding to how much versus how much longer, B, confusing how much in reference to time versus the more frequent reference to money, or C, confusing a WH question with a yes or no question. Okay, that's all for me. I give it back to Fahmi.
Okay, thank you, Nola. For the next material will be delivered by Nola again. Nola, maaf, Nova.
Okay, thank you, Fahmi. The next material is designing assessment test, selective listening. The third type of listening performance is selective listening. The test taker listens to a limited amount of oral input and must discriminate in some specific information. Several techniques have been used that require a selective hearing. Number 1, listening close. The close listening test, sometimes called close dictation or partial dictation, requires the test taker to listen to a story, story, monologue, or conversation, and simultaneously read a written text. The selected word or phrase has been removed. The close procedure is most often associated with reading alone. In its generic form, the test consists of a section in which every nth word, usually every 7th word, is removed, and the test taker is asked to provide the appropriate word. In the close listening test takers look at a transcript of the passage they listened to and fill in the blanks with the word or phrase they heard. One potential drawback of close listening techniques is that they may simply be a reading comprehension test. Test takers who are asked to listen to a written version of the story with periodic omission may not need to listen at all, but may still be able to respond with an appropriate word or phrase. The teacher can avoid this possibility if the blank is an item with a high information load that cannot be predicted easily just by reading the passage. In the example below, such a shortcoming is avoided by focusing only on the number criteria. Next slide, please. The test taker hears the announcement from the airline agent and sees a transcript with the underlined words removed. Nah, pada gambar yang tertera di layar, perhatikan dua perbedaan struktural penting antara tugas mendengarkan dan membaca standar close. Dalam listening close, penghapusan diatur oleh tujuan pengujian, bukan oleh penghapusan matematis dari setiap kata ke N. Dan lebih dari satu kata dapat dihapus. Seperti pada contoh dalam gambar, tugas listening close lainnya mungkin fokus pada kategori tata bahasa seperti bentuk kata kerja, artikel, kata kerja dua kata, preposisi, atau transisi kata atau frasa. Nah, pada tugas listening close biasanya harus menggunakan metode penilaian yang sesuai dengan kata. Guru menerima sebagai tanggapan yang benar hanya pada kata-kata atau frasa yang sebenarnya diucapkan. Tujuan guru adalah untuk menguji pemahaman listening, bukan berekspektasi tinggi pada bagian gramatikal atau leksikal. Next slide. Information transfer. Selective listening can also be assessed through information transfer techniques. Orally processed information must be transferred to a visual representation, such as labeling a diagram, identifying elements in an image, completing a form, or showing a route on a map. At the longer end of the linguistic complexity scale, simple pictorial items are sometimes an efficient rubric for judging selected specific information. Consider the following items. Seperti terlihat pada gambar, the previous example illustrates the need for test takers to focus solely on practical information. The purpose of this test is to test preposition and prepositional phrases of location. At the bottom, above, around, along, with more, excellent, or less. So, other words and phrases such as backyard, yesterday, last, few, points, and scare are provided only as context and need not be tested. This text also also presupposes that the examiners can identify the difference between bird and squirrels. In other genre of pictorial tests, several people and or actions are presented in a single picture, such as a group of people at a party, assuming that all items, people, and action are clearly described and understood by the test taker. The assessment can take the form of the question, true or false, and identification. The question, pertanyaannya bisa seperti, is the tall man by the door talking to the short woman? True, false, bisa kalimatnya seperti the woman in the red skirt is watching TV. Dan untuk identification, kalimatnya bisa show the person standing behind the light, draw a circle around to the person to the left or the coach. Next slide. In the third image selection used by Test of English for International Communication, one photo is given to test taker, who then hears 4 different statements and must choose one of the 4 to describe the photo. Here is an example. Nah, seperti pada layar, ini merupakan gambar contoh information transfer, single picture, keyword verbal, multiple choice. Next slide, please. Nah, tugas transfer informasi dapat mencerminkan keaslian yang lebih besar dengan menggunakan bagan, peta, kisi, jadwal, dan artefak lain dari kehidupan sehari-hari. Pada gambar sebagai contoh, peserta tes mendengar jadwal harian siswa, dan tugasnya adalah mengisi kalender mingguan yang sebagian sudah diisi dan sudah selesai. Tugas mengisi bagan seperti ini adalah contoh bagus dari strategi ear scanning. Seorang pendengar harus membedakan dari beberapa bagian informasi dari mana bagian yang relevan. Dalam contoh pada gambar, hampir semua relevan dan sangat sedikit kata yang dapat diabaikan. However, more information may be presented in other tasks than required, forcing the test taker to select the correct bits and chunks needed to complete the task. Next slide. Okay. Terakhir yaitu sentence repetition. The test of simply repeating a sentence, part of sentence, or repeating a sentence is also used to assess listening comprehension. As in dictation, the test taker must maintain a language span long enough to reproduce it, and then respond with a verbal repetition of that stimulus. False listening comprehension, whether at the phonemic or discourse level, can be manifested in the correctness of repetition. Errors in repetition are assessed are errors in listening. In the case of somewhat longer sentences, one could argue that the ability to recognize and retain chunks of language and turns of meaning can be assessed through repetition. Sentence repetition is far from a perfect listening assessment test. According to Bach, notes that such tests are not just tests of listening, but tests of general oral skills. Furthermore, these tests may only test speech recognition and could easily be contaminated by a lack of short-term memory skills, making it invalid as a comprehension assessment alone, and the teacher may never be able to distinguish a listening comprehension error from an oral prediction error. Therefore, sentence repetition tests should be used with caution. I think it's enough. Back to moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Nova. So for the last topics will be delivered by me. It is about designing assessment tests, extensive listening. The first is dictation. Dictation is a widely researched genre of assessing listening comprehensions. In addition, test taker hear a passage, typically of 15 to 100 words, recited 3 times. First, at normal speed, then with long pause between phrase or natural words groups, during which time test taker write down what they have just heard, and finally, at normal speed once more so they can check their work and proofread. Here is a sample dictation at the intermediate level of English. Next. Nah, ini adalah contoh dari dictation atau bisa dikatakan dikte. Jadi siswa itu diberikan tugas untuk mendengarkan cerita dari guru, mendengarkan sebuah teks dari guru. Nah, kemudian siswa itu beri kesempatan untuk pengulangan teks itu 3 kali dengan 3 kali pengulangan. Pengulangan yang pertama itu dengan kecepatan yang normal, kedua itu dengan kecepatan yang slow. Dan yang terakhir itu adalah kecepatan yang normal untuk memastikan kebenaran apa yang mereka dengar dengan teks yang dibacakan oleh guru. Next. Nah, ini ada beberapa error yang harus dipertimbangkan dalam tugas ini. Di antaranya yaitu spelling error only, but the word appears to have been heard correctly. Spelling and or obvious misrepresentation of a word, illegibility words, grammatical error, for example, test taker heard I can't do it, writers can do it. Skip word or phrase, permutation of words, additional word not in the original, and replacement of a word with an appropriate synonym. Next. Next is communicative stimulus response text. Another and more authentic example of extensive listening is found in a popular genre of assessment test in which the test taker is presented with a stimulus monologue or conversation and then is asked to respond to a set of comprehension questions are commonly used if commercial produce proficiency test, the monologues lecture and brief conversation used in such as are sometimes a little contrived. Entertain is subsequent multiple choice question don't mirror communicative real life situation, but with some care and creativity, one can create a reasonable, authentic stimulus, and in some rare case, the response model actually approach complete authenticity. Here's the typical example of such a test. Next. Nah, ini adalah contoh dari komunikatif stimulus respon test. Jadi siswa diberikan audio percakapan ataupun monolog, kemudian mereka diberikan pertanyaan berupa pilihan ganda sesuai dengan apa yang mereka dengar. Ini merupakan contoh tesnya. Next. Okay, for the last is there is authentic listening test. Ideally, the language assessment file would have a stockpile of listening types, test types that are cognitively demanding, communicative, and authentic, not to mention interactive by means of integration with speaking. Test as a sample of performance or test implies an equal limited capacity or capacity to mirror all the real world context of listening performance. The first is note taking. In the academic world, classroom lectures by professor are common feature of a non-native English use experience. One form of a midterm examination at the American Language Institute at San Francisco State University. Use 15 minutes lectures as stimulus. One among several response formats includes note taking by the test takers. Jadi note taking ini bisa dikatakan sebagai pencatatan. Siswa diberikan tugas untuk mencatat apa yang mereka dengar. Next. The second is editing. Another authentic test provides both a written and spoken stimulus and requires the test taker to listen for these discrepancies. Scoring achieves relative high reliability as three are usually small numbers of specific difference that must be identified. Jadi editing ini siswa diberikan tugas untuk membedakan antara dua audio yang memiliki perbedaan yang sangat berbeda. Jadi siswa diharuskan untuk mengidentifikasi antara dua audio yang memiliki perbedaan tersebut. Next is interpretive test. One of the intensive listening tests described above was paraphrasing a story or conversation. An interpretive test extend the stimulus material to longer stretch of discourse and focus the test takers to infer a response. Potential stimulus include song lyrics, puisi, radio televisi, news reports, and oral accounts of an experience. Jadi, interpretative test ini siswa diberikan tugas untuk mendengarkan sebuah lagu ataupun puisi ataupun berita. Nah, dari situ siswa diberikan tugas untuk meneliti pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang telah dipersiapkan. Misalkan dalam mendengarkan lagu, siswa ditanyakan kenapa penyanyi itu merasa sedih dalam menyanyikan lagu itu, or anything like that. For the last retelling. In a related test taker listen to a story or news event and simply retell it or summarize it, either orally or auditive or in writing. In so doing, test taker must be identify the key's main idea, purpose, supporting point, and conclusion to show full comprehension, scoring, and partially predetermined by specifying a minimum number of elements that must appear in the retelling. Seperti yang kita tahu, retelling itu menceritakan kembali dari apa yang mereka dengar. Misalkan mereka mendengarkan cerita ataupun ceramah ataupun berita. Nah, siswa ditugaskan untuk menceritakan kembali dari cerita yang mereka dengar. Maybe that's all the materials from us. Sorry if we have a mistakes. The last we say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.